2.
And we're back. I'm your host, VKP. Good morning from the office. We're North Georgia's only live online morning show. Okay, it's 9:34. I mean, it's time for the international superstar, Amanda. What's up? I can't hear you. Your mic on? Turn your mic.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. What's going on? Oh, so you're up there on the 14th floor. Did you Google yesterday?
13. No, I didn't.
Why?
Forgot to do that. Just tell us. I could put a little background behind why you think that I should not be on the 13th floor.
Okay, buildings, older buildings that I'm aware of in New York City, there's no 13th floor. Okay, let me do this. New York City buildings, no 13th floor. You get an elevator, okay, skipping the 13th floor, all right?
Yeah.
Humans assign so much meaning to the numbers that superstition affects infrastructure design, skipping the 13th floor. Okay, in 1988, the New York Magazine ran a piece on a man named J. Ira Harris, who, as the story put it, is simply crazy about the number 13. There are basically so many, okay, so many buildings in New York City that there's not a 13th floor, okay? In Manhattan, ready?
Ready.
In Manhattan, out of 629 buildings with 13 floors or more. You ready? Now, this is your test. I told you this yesterday. Now, listen to the question, because you know I like word problems. In Manhattan, out of 629 buildings with 13 or more floors, how many have a 13 floor button when you get in the elevator?
You're wanting me to answer that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
629. How many do you think?
This is my worst fear, being called out
How
on
many
the
of you
internet
think? How
with
many
a
do
math
you?
question.
Well, yesterday you could have Googled it. So how many do you think out of 629 buildings, when you get in the elevator, there's actually a button that says 13th floor?
Thousands. I don't know.
There was only 629 to begin with. Hell, no more. 55. 55. Out of 629, only 55 have a 13th floor button. I'm telling you. You go into Manhattan and you get in the elevator. There's no button that says 13th floor. I'm just saying.
It makes no sense.
Okay.
Anywho.
That was important information. What do you got?
So for International Women's Day, I know that if you watch the show, I love Dana Loesch. But that is my winner for International Women's Day. And I want to bring up, too, I don't know if you've seen on my Facebook where NRA TV is going to officially have Dana do a new show. It says March 2018, but it's March 2018, and I haven't seen any dates for it yet. But I wanted you to see the teaser for her new show, and it's going to be exposing left-wing media. So hang on one second, I'll play that for you.
We've had enough of the lies, the sanctimony, the arrogance, the hatred, the pettiness, the fake news. We are done with your agenda to undermine voters' will and individual liberty in America. So to every lying member of the media, to every Hollywood phony, to the role model athletes who use their free speech to alter and undermine what our flag represents, to the politicians who would rather watch America burn than lose 1 ounce of their own personal power, to the late-night hosts who think their opinions are the only opinions that matter, to the Joyanne Reeds, the Morning Joes, the Mikas, to those who stain honest reporting with partisanship, to those who bring bias and propaganda to CNN, the Washington Post, and the New York Times, your time is running out. The clock starts now.
Okay, you know your job now, right?
Yes.
No, you don't. No, don't just say yes. Say, what is it? What's my job?
What's my job?
Okay, you're not to stop until you book her on the show.
Gosh. Like, she is
No, you email her, you beg her.
I know.
You're like Dana, woman
she
to
is
woman.
my spirit animal. Like,
Is that your spirit animal? Oh my
everything
God.
about her. I just love her.
You use spirit animal
Come
on
on,
my
Dana.
show. Yes, you
Come
did. You
on,
said
get
that's
on the
my
show.
spirit.
I don't want
Okay,
anyone
your
else.
job is to book her.
I know.
Okay?
God, like, I'm trying, okay?
There's an extra $20 in it for you.
What?
There's an extra 20 out there. We have a bonus program for if you get Dana Loesch on the show. All right, now there's something I want to say, okay?
What's that?
Now, you know this because you know me well enough by now. When I went through and did my pictures this morning of women, right?
Yeah.
2 days in a row, you told me that I got in front of your segment, right?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, wait,
right.
2 days. You said you got in front of my segment, right?
Right.
And I said, you never tell me what you're going to do. So I did not know that, but today I said, you know what? So I'm going through pictures, and I said, you know, I want to highlight some women, some very strong professional women that are making a change, making a difference, and that should be role models for young ladies. Okay. And I came across her picture, and I said, my money is, I better not put that one up.
That I would do it? Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't do that today. I waited. But, you know, I want you to book her on the show.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay,
You don't
let's
even
get
have to
her.
tell me.
All right, so your spirit animal is your winner of the week. And you actually came on today and had just a little different tone about Hope Hicks.
I did, yes. After reading a little background on her, I do have a newfound respect for her.
Okay.
She's still,
I know. All right. So, really tell the world your brief thought on Stormy will not shut up and keep her trap shut, or am I wrong? What's your brief thought on this?
Do I have to? I mean, she's all it is, in my opinion. She's feeling like chopped liver, and she could have gotten a little bit more money. That's what's going through her mind. So her attorney saw an outlet that this null agreement, if there ever was an actual agreement, which, there could have not have been. It wasn't signed, so there you go. They took their outlet for more money.
So you think somebody said you signed that you made a deal for $130,000. The guy's going to be president. That's a billionaire. You do know you could have got a little more. You think that happened?
And supposedly in the actual agreement, it does not state Donald Trump or her real name is Stephanie Clifford, their real names. So this agreement is just null in the first place, if that's the case. That's what I heard, so.
Well, you know what they say. I thought we had a deal, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just let it go, Stormy. Let it go.
Let it go. Just let it go. The media won't let it go.
Yeah.
Okay, Amanda, is that it for today?
No, actually. Okay, I have another winner.
Oh, yeah, winners.
And I've been saving this all week, and I'm kind of, iffy because I did choose it on International Women's Day, but this is not a woman. It's Nick Freitas. He is a member of the Virginia House of Delegates, and now he's a candidate for Virginia Senate. I want to play this video of his speech.
How long is this speech?
Okay, the video is probably about 7 minutes long, but it's so important.
No. I don't have 7 minutes.
Come on.
I can. I got 2 or 3 I've got to do, and it's 15.
All right, we'll cut it off a little bit early, but there are some points that I want to show in this video. This video is everything you need to know about a true conservative and a true Republican.
Just when they say I'm not nice. Let's get with the video, but I can't do 7 minutes, okay?
All right. But anyway, this is a true conservative, a true Republican's intentions on gun control.
Floor. So Over the last several days, Mr. Speaker, there's been a lot of discussion about an open and honest debate with respect to school shootings, gun violence, gun control, etc. And an open and honest debate, as I understand it, is one that would rely on data, facts, evidence, analysis, reason, logic, etc., etc. And I'm certainly willing to have that debate. I think if we were going to look seriously at school shootings and gun control, we would analyze things like, why do all mass shootings seem to take place in gun-free zones? Wouldn't it be reasonable to test whether or not the efficacy of gun-free zones have actually achieved what their intended intent is? We'd start to look at most of these shooters come from broken homes. What sort of government policies have actually encouraged broken homes? You can look at left-leaning think tanks like the Brookings Institute that will actually say that some of it can be attributed to various cultural changes that happened in the 60s, to include the abortion industry. You can look at more conservative-leaning organizations that will say that the welfare state contributed significantly to dismantling the family as families became more and more dependent upon the government than they were mothers and fathers in the home raising children. We could look at various status with those areas within the United States and around the world that have strict gun control measures and what their crime rates look like, whether it's Chicago, New York City, Washington, D.C., and others that have incredibly strict gun laws, and yet for some reason it hasn't seemed to stop the gun violence in those particular areas. We can look at the analysis out of 538, which is considered more of a left-of-center data analysis think tank, where you had several analysts now confirm through the data that they were looking at, not just in the United States, but in Canada, Great Britain, and Australia, that they were shocked that the data did not support what they thought gun control measures would actually achieve. We can look at the number of cases within the United States where a gun has been used for self-defense. Estimates range everywhere from 100,000 uses to close to 1 million uses within the United States. Now, some organizations and some reporters only want to report on the ones where a gun was used and it actually resulted in the death or maiming of the perpetrator. But if you look at the ones where the gun was used and the mere presence of the firearm actually dissuaded a criminal from committing an act of violence, an act of rape, an act of murder, the number shoots up, it skyrockets. So when people on this side talk about the importance of the Second Amendment, please understand it's not just some base philosophical conviction that we all have. It is rooted in the idea that while we may be a post-Enlightenment society, the vast majority of horrible atrocities that we've seen have happened in those post-Enlightenment societies. Has happened as a result of government systematically disarming citizens and claiming themselves to be the sole responsible party for their security, and then turning on those same citizens and punishing them. That's the most egregious cases. But in the individual cases of self-defense, that's why the people on this side of the aisle hold the Second Amendment in such high esteem, because we honestly believe that you have an inherent right to defend yourself. And your ability to defend yourself should not be excluded to your size. Firearms provide someone that is weaker and not as fast the ability to actually defend themselves from a stronger attacker. Some of the other things that we would look at, and some of the things I would hope we would have bipartisan support for, all of us agree that we need to make sure that our students are better protected when they go to schools. One of the things that we would look at is arming certain teachers. Not every teacher, but a teacher that is comfortable with it, is former law enforcement, is former military, that is now in the classroom. Delegate Plum said yesterday that that was ridiculous to consider. Why? Is it because the other side of this debate will only accept one quote-unquote solution to this problem, and that is tearing apart or gutting the Second Amendment? And I understand, we're going to mention just a couple of the bills that were done this year, right? Background checks, getting rid of bump stocks. If you're wondering, the other reason why we can't have an honest debate over this one is because, quite frankly, I don't think any of us on this side of the aisle believe you when you say that's all you want to do. It'll be bump stocks, it'll be background checks, then it'll be different kind of background checks that register the guns. Then after that, it'll be we need to ban assault weapons. What's an assault weapon? Something that looks scary. Then after that, it'll be semi-automatic rifles. After that, it'll be semi-automatic handguns. Then it'll be revolvers, shotguns. Because when the policies fail to produce the results you are promising to your constituents, you'll be back with more reasons on why we've got to infringe on Second Amendment rights. The other reason why it's really difficult to have an honest and open debate about this is because of members of this body comparing members on this side of the aisle to Nazis. Members on the other side of the aisle saying that when a 24-year-old teacher gets up and says that the whole debate is between the Second Amendment or her life, that's a false dilemma. And quite frankly, one of the ones that I found the most offensive, along with being compared to Nazis, was being compared to segregationists. I just want to remind everyone very quickly. It was not our party that supported slavery, that fought women's suffrage, that rounded up tens of thousands of Asian Americans and put them in concentration camps, that supported Jim Crow, that supported segregation, or supported mass resistance. That wasn't our party. That was the Democrat Party. Now, I'm thrilled that Democrats no longer believe that, and I don't believe that a single current member of this body who is a Democrat ever believe those things, but I would really appreciate it if every time you want to make a powerful point, you don't project the sins, the atrocities, and the injustices that the Democratic Party perpetrated on others onto us.
All right, that was worth it. I stayed with it because that was worth it.
That was perfect, wasn't it? Follow the rest of the video when you get a chance, because he just killed it.
And what is his name again?
Nick Freitas. And he's a member of the Virginia House of Delegates, and he is actually he's a candidate of the Virginia Senate.
Okay, that was worth it. That was worth it. I mean, I never know where you're going with that, but at the same time, Florida just and I think Florida legislation backs new gun restrictions after Parkland's school shooting, and they keep tweaking it. Florida lawmakers bucked the National Rifle Association on Wednesday to pass new firearms regulations and create a program for arming some school employees in a rare act of Republican compromise. That word compromise just sends me through the roof. The response to the slaying at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, okay? A bipartisan vote of 67 to 50 in the State House ended an emotional 3-week process. After weeks of debate, lawmakers approved a bill that would impose a 3-day waiting period for most purchases. I just hope that the thugs, in Chicago, that have the illegal guns they purchased on a street corner will abide. I hope the street corner thugs that sell guns will enact the same policy here. They'll not sell to anybody under 21. There'll not be some kid 12 years old with a gun, and they'll have a 3-day waiting period. After 3 weeks of debate, lawmakers approve a bill, 3-day waiting period for most purchases of long guns, and raise the minimum age of purchase of those weapons to 21. All right? 21. So Rick Scott is running for, and this is where the politicians get me. Rick Scott, the governor, is running for Senate, and I don't know, are they trying to find middle ground? But I'm telling you, that's the first step, or one of many steps, and they're not done. All right, great video, Amanda. Florida, look that up. And give them the name one more time so people can go watch this guy's full video.
His name is Nick Freitas. He is a Virginia House of Delegates, and now he is a candidate for Virginia Senate.
Why don't you find it, share it on our Facebook page. I've got 8 minutes. Thank you very much, Amanda. Great segment this morning.
Thank you.
Before we go, let me give a rundown of a couple things. Hold on, I'm looking up some things right here. The House, 107 Republicans expressed deep concern about Trump's tariffs, okay? More than 100 House Republicans are urging President Trump to abandon his sweeping plan for global tariffs and narrow his focus to punishing perennial trade violators, all right? So, folks, the president has tweeted out 2 hours ago, we understand there's going to be some carving out on the deal, okay? because the guy knows what he's doing. But 2 hours ago, President Donald J. Trump tweeted out, looking forward to 3:30 p.m. meeting today at the White House. We have to protect and build our steel and aluminum industries while at the same time showing great flexibility and cooperation toward those that are real friends. Trust me, you need to pick up words with this guy. Are real friends and treat us fairly on both trade and the military. So, you know, he's going to Mexico. Trust me, there's been some talks that you don't hear. The phone lines have been ringing between Mexico and D.C. and Canada and D.C. They've been ringing, and NAFTA is on the table. They're not going to take advantage of you anymore, and the president knows what he's doing. Let me see one more time. I have one more story here I had another story here I wanted to bring up. Today is video game day at the White House. All right, video game day. Now, I could see the media. I tell you what, if I could write the script, right, Saturday Night Live, this is serious. I mean, I'm okay with having fun with the President of the United States. I don't care who he is, all right? So, you know, they've made, today he is doing, Amanda, he is doing a listening session and a talking session with video game manufacturers. I, for one, feel they're too realistic, 3D, 4K, graphic. I do not think children should be playing some of these video games, period, okay? Period, all right? It's like an R movie, like a 15-year-old trying to get into an R movie. It's supposed to be 17, all right? Point is today is video day, the video game. President Donald Trump is having a meeting to discuss this. He is looking at everything that happened at Parkland, from guns to mental health to violent video games to the desensitizing our children, looking at all of it. But if I'm Saturday Night Live, I write the script, right? And I got four kids, all right? And I got a big screen. And I do the skit where Trump's sitting there and he's got Big Macs and fried chicken and he's got like 9 Diet Cokes in front of him and he's got these kids and they're playing like Mortal Kombat and Trump's actually going, oh, this is how it works. I think they're too violent. I think they're bad. And then he looks over and he says, I just wasted your ass, didn't I? Oh, I think these are violent. I think these are, right? I could write that script. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
Wouldn't it be funny?
It would.
Okay, see, I'm funny. Am I ha-ha funny or funny? All right, so that's today. That's today. And also 11 nations, but not the U.S., to sign the Trans-Pacific Trade Deal. 11 countries are expected to sign the landmark Asian-Pacific Trade Agreement in San Diego on Thursday as an antidote to the increasingly protectionist bent of the United States, which last year pulled out of the deal. Protectionist. That's what we're called. You say America first, it's protectionist. Let me tell you on the trade before we go. It's the World Trade Organization. Their nerves are shot. The World Bank, their nerves are shot. China will push back. Their nerves are shot, okay? Their nerves are shot because Trump is right, okay? Trump is more correct than Stormy Daniels in her accusations on this trade deal. He has them all. If you think Stormy Daniels has Trump's attorney a nervous wreck, Trump's got Macron nervous as can be over there in France. They're nervous, folks, okay? Watch what happens. You heard it here on the show 3 months from now when there is a difference in the trade balance of the United States and the world, and Trump will not get any news. Witness tampering, okay? I stayed away from that today for a reason, because the mainstream is going crazy, lamestream, because Priebus and them came out of the meeting with Mueller, and Donald Trump said, how did it go? They did on MSNBC a full segment on witness tampering. Now, I don't know if there's any, they always come back, I don't know if anything illegal really happened. I don't know if you could consider this illegal. I don't know where the president really did anything wrong, but it is not good what took place. It could constitute witness tampering. Okay. Stormy Daniels, let's see, PlayStation Day at the White House, get the Big Macs out. Everybody bring the Big Macs because we got PlayStations. Michael Cohen, restraining order against Stormy. Has no one watched House of Cards? Put up Doug. I got a minute. It's 2 Dougs. You ever watch House of Cards? I got Doug 1 and Doug 2. Put the 2 pictures up, okay? Doug 1, and go, there's Doug, a House of Cards. Go to the other one, okay? There's Doug. You know, sometimes Doug just had to do things that the president didn't know about. He just took care of things. Doug took care of things. I'm just saying. Compromising photos may surface. That's what they say. Compromising photos may surface. And we told you that the Dem Super PAC is buying $43 million in ads this fall. I'm your host, BKP. Today's Thursday, correct? Set me straight.
It's Thursday.
Okay, set me straight. No pun intended. Not that there's anything wrong with it, all right? But Friday, we're at Circuit World in Blue Ridge. Go to fetchyournews.com. Go click on the counties at the top. Click on Election 2018 and see who qualified in your county yesterday. Qualifying for local and state elections here in Georgia ends Friday. So, is tomorrow Friday?
Tomorrow is Friday. Today is Thursday.
That's twice you told me that. Circuit World, Ask the Doc with Dr. William Whaley, the all-star panel. Rick and Jane, Bruce will not be with us. If you would like to be a special guest, if you'd like for me to say today's special guest on the all-star panel, get in touch with me, 706-889-9700. Maybe you can come in and have a guest spot tomorrow on the panel, and are always rounded out with our star of the week, the star of the show. That's it. Show's over. You know when you see our pet of the week from the Humane Society of Blue Ridge. And also, we got to talk tomorrow about, we're going to talk a lot about tomorrow of, what's that eating thing up there in Blue Ridge? What do they do? What is that? Taste of Blue Ridge. That's the eating thing. You're eating here, eat over there, eat this, try this. That's all. It's like you walk around, try this. Oh my God, it's awesome. The Taste of Blue Ridge. You don't want to miss that. Amanda, it's 10:01. We better go.